Exactly! That's what everyone says when I bring it up.
Like, well, it isn't happening to me, so I don't think it's happening at all. And
Yeah.
you shouldn't say that it's happening to you, because it's not happening to me, so it doesn't exist. It's not real.
Yeah. It was like fucked up, and like I tried working on it productively and it didn't work, and they kept behaving that way, and it got to my emotions got the best of me. I got really
Upset?
emotional, really. I had a bunch of anxiety attacks and panic attacks over it, and it got a little jealous.
Sure.
Which, not my best moment, but everyone was like basically saying like, no, that sounds like reactive abuse. You were pushed to feel that way. And then they blamed you for it.
Sounds like middle school.
Yeah. So basically, I.
Oh gosh. You know, you can tell my middle school experience was terrible when I literally got hit by a truck, and that isn't even like one of the worst moments. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, so eventually it just got so out of hand that like they one of them broke up with me, and then after she broke up with me, the other one was like, oh, I just feel like I haven't been giving Steffi the attention like she deserves because I've been trying to like keep it at bay to make Dre feel comfortable. And my thought was like, come again? So she started jumping on the Let's Rob Brave affection bandwagon. And so
Yeah, so basically,
I
what,
kept
they
on
all
telling her like
turned
affection
against you or
isn't
something?
tied. Just because you're giving her affection doesn't mean you can't give me affection. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's not a physical thing in limited supply.
Yeah, it's like
can
I think you're
keep
trying
having
to
more.
justify joining in on the neglect.
Yeah, it's...
And eventually, like within a week of the other partner, she broke up with me too. And normal circumstances, maybe I would have got the closure eventually and been like, okay, it just didn't work out. But okay, so the partner that I actually ended up dumping, she ended up coming. I had her over. We were in the middle of a pandemic, right? And like I
Kind of
hadn't
still are,
seen
but
her for a
yes.
couple. Yeah, yeah, we are.
just
But
just for
like,
the record.
this was at the very beginning of the pandemic when we
Sure.
didn't even have vaccines and stuff.
Sure.
She was quarantining with her family for, and so I was just like,
Oh,
I asked her like, Soul, I'm not doing very well. After what
right.
happened, I could use like you coming over and for cuddles and stuff, and just So she came over, asked if we could have alone time. We had our alone time. It was great. And then the next day, Katie came on to Seoul. And I don't know, somewhere I was expecting, like, after everything I told her, that, like, Seoul would, like,
Be different? Have changed? Be better,
yeah.
kind of?
would like think that maybe the day that like I was supposed to be there for Ray, maybe I should be there for Ray? No, they just started like fucking in front of me.
Oh, but of course.
Yeah.
Or should I say, oh, butts. Of course.
And there was a lot of fucking that started happening in front of me that I was not comfortable with.
This is at least somewhat PG.
Huh?
Whatever.
What's that?
Oh, the recording is still going on, for the record. But yes, they were
sorry.
being intimate.
I'm sorry. I can, oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I can put a disclaimer on this. Warning, adult language, because we're just talking about relationships and stuff. Whatever.
Fair.
No big deal. Carry on.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll keep it, tame for now. I do awkward stuff like that.
Yeah, we all do.
I'm awkward. So yeah. She basically, yeah, I set boundaries, they guilt tripped me for setting the boundaries,
Oh
and
gosh, that's just the worst.
started leading me on further, and it just got so screwed up, I couldn't handle it. I ended up moving out, and that's where I live now. And it kind of ruined the whole experience, kind of ruined my self-esteem.
Sure. Knowing that people would just treat you like you don't matter kind of makes you wonder if you do matter. Sort of
Yeah, it even like gets to me with like
thing. Oh shoot.
It actually put me in a lot of like relapse with a lot of mental health stuff, and I still like have times where I'm like, oh, if where I'm worrying if partners really care about me or if it's gonna be a repeat. Though, basically, Kimi and Lily, they both were basically like, screw you too to them. So they actually like supported me, and they were like, yeah, we're not gonna like validate what they did to you. They also were both like, that sounds like gaslighting. Everyone tells me it's gaslighting. But Soul is convinced that I gaslit myself into being convinced that I was gaslighted.
Gosh. Speaking of gaslighting, there's one quote that'll always stick with me. Sorry to interrupt. I was just reminded of a thing that's like... it's like an IMDb page or something for like the 1940s movie Gaslight. And the description is, there was no 1940s movie called Gaslight. You made it all up.
Wow. That's awesome.
And considering I never heard of a movie called Gaslight before, I don't know if that could possibly be true or not. But if there actually was a movie in the 1940s called Gaslight, that is a actually really funny joke. Yeah. People suck.
Yeah. People can really, really suck.
Ah, shoot. And then, of course, there's people like Chandra, who I met at a pride parade. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I was there on the float that I had helped to assemble, or at least helped to decorate and whatnot. I just kind of look over, and here's this girl, who at the time was like 16, just hanging off the side of the float. And I was just like, can I help you? Like, do you want a hand to like get on properly? It's like, no, I'm good. And it's just waving to the people. It's like, I love you, I love. It's like, and now we're doing 5 Fire Emblem series on YouTube. See, that's how we had
Aw.
met. I just like
Aw.
turn around because I hear like someone new in the area because, you know, autism, I can painfully aware of my surroundings to the point where I don't sometimes recognize what people are saying because I'm too busy hearing like the traffic out on the street and whatnot. And I just hear someone talking behind me. I'm like, oh, what? It's like, well, trying to figure out what to do about this. And of course, on the other hand, there's people like those people you were talking about and whatnot.
Some people like. Some people,
Some people shouldn't be people. What? How dare you say
yeah,
that?
some people like ruin my, like, some people like ruin my faith in humanity, and then some people like bring up my faith in humanity.
Gosh, I had joined an all-woman gaming group on Discord. I'm not gonna say what the group is because I forgot what it was, and I think the group doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. I was invited to play Dead by Daylight, a game that I'd like not played before. Played a few games, and they were playing in a group where like I was the killer, and they were, and the four of them who had played many times before were survivors. And then one of them, in fact, had said, it's like, hey, I'm going to bully you, Claire. And like during the game, they're all like laughing, like snickering. It's like, oh, you got so close out, because like that's a thing that happens, but it feels bad when you're like, you know, trying to play and they are just better than you like that. Which they should have known, because I had said multiple times that I was new to it. And at one point, I'm like just walking around, because like closed corners, like a hospital map or something. I'm like, where the heck is everything? And they say, oh, well, that's your own problem or something. Like, there's like playing the game and like joking around or playing a game, and then there's just being rude. And then I got banned from the server because after the game, I kind of snapped and it's like, hey, look, that wasn't cool. Like, laughing specifically at me for not knowing the game. Like, that wasn't cool. That wasn't fun. Like, that wasn't good. So I got banned for it because I apparently made multiple people cry. Because they were actually bullying me. So...
Yeah, I hate bullies in games. Like, every so often. Okay, you know how I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14, right?
Yes. You have mentioned that.
Yeah, most of the time, like, people are pretty chill in that game, but occasionally you, like, run into someone who's, like, so intent that you play your class perfectly, and if you mess up, they, like, ridicule you about it. One person made fun of the fact that I was missing all my targets because I didn't realize at that point yet that like my AoEs had to be in a certain range.
Gosh, people who always say it's like, oh, you have to do X, Y, and Z to play your character perfectly, or else you might as well not play at all. In a game that is not a PvP game, it's not like a super huge high difficulty game, just suck. Like, people might say stuff like that. Like, imagine if people said that about Pokemon. It's like, oh, you're going to use Aerodactyl? That Pokemon sucks. It's like, dude, you can beat the game with the Magikarp. Shut up. Like, people who say, oh, well, you have to play X way or you're not playing right is kind of, ugh.
There's people who maybe like have no business playing the game because I'm perfect. One person because my game was lagging. And, like, they were like, you just shouldn't play it, or you should perfect it. It's like, first of all, it's a story-based MMO. I really enjoy the storyline.
Just don't enjoy the players, yeah. It's one thing if the people are being nice about
I
it,
enjoy
like,
the
say,
gameplay.
oh, by the way, your AoEs have a certain range, that's why you're missing your shots, just for the record. Someone just mentions that, it's like, oh, by the way, then, hey, they're at least trying to be polite. But people don't know how to be polite.
There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah. And people only really care about the wrong way to do it because I don't know. Or I hear about it a lot in like Dungeons and Dragons too. You said that you did you say that you play or that you were just interested in playing?
Uh, I have played. I have played my fair share. I
Alright.
haven't played a lot in a while because um,
Just haven't been able to get together with people to play it?
every game I played like fizzled out, or like
Yep.
also I can't commit to a weekly game myself because,
Too busy and stuff.
huh?
Too busy.
Yeah, I can commit to like a semi-regular game, which would be nice to be able to play a semi-regular game of D&D that doesn't fizzle out.
Oh yeah, it would be nice. I actually set up a D&D game for my family for my birthday last month. We got almost one session done. Oh shoot, it's my birthday!
Today or a game?
In the game! I was just talking about how I
Oh,
set up a D&D game for my birthday, and I had forgotten that I set my character's birthday to winter 15th. It's my birthday, everyone's gonna give me presents. And I just made everyone fall in love with me, more or less. So all gonna potentially give me good presents. Oh! I think my pumpkins are done. I don't know, just a hunch. I'm not sure. Also, we only had enough time to eat 200 levelizers. Yeah, you were talking and stuff? Talking about people playing games and telling you you're doing it wrong?
yeah. Just like saying like
Yeah,
you
you
have no
shouldn't.
right to play the game. Like, why do people have no right to play a story-based game? You think that like people have to be pros to like experience the story?
I mean, apparently. That's the problem with, like, a lot of things, though. Like, a lot of people's
Gaming
mind control.
elitism, yeah.
Well, just elitism in general, or, like, people uh, wanting to be perfect at their hobbies so they can do them quote unquote properly kind of stuff. And also, we now have level 10 red crystals. Now we can ship out the level 10 red crystal seeds. We can keep the flowers here. We don't have to plant anymore. We can just throw these in here and go in here. As your plants and stuff level up, you can ship them out and you'll be able to buy the highest level of whatever that you have shipped. And also, while we're here, this emery flower that's now level 5 is at 65%, and gosh, I need more quality ups. And for the sake of it, this. Because, like, for the longest time, I've been playing games on, like, pretty subpar computers and stuff. Like, I got a gaming tablet to play games on, and that was doing fine for years. And I finally got, like, a desktop, and I was like, oh, now I can play Minecraft at 900 FPS, because, you know, that's what's important. Because, you know,
Yeah.
obviously, you gotta get those 900 FPSs, even though 30 is just fine. People talking about it's like, oh, well, no, you have to play like 4K resolution. Like, buddy, I've tried playing. Like, I've seen stuff in 4K versus 1080p, and I literally can't tell the difference, so why should I bother playing at 4K? It looks no different to me.
Yeah.
Like, sure, maybe it looks better to you, or maybe you just think it looks better, whatever. No difference. So, no, I got my slightly above 10. I've got my HD monitor, and I don't need to pay $4,000 or however much for a 4K monitor. You know, 4K for 4K. So yeah, I don't need the fancy monitors. Like, oh, I don't need your fancy like $300 keyboard. Okay, I have a $30 keyboard that I use. Actually, it's half a keyboard, and I have the other half on my mouse. And I can play games just fine. Like, I'm not going in and doing the special events playing like Dota 2 against thousands of people for millions of dollars. I don't care about that. I don't have a special desktop microphone. Whoops. Like, I don't have a stream deck with all my hotkeys on it. Like, I just use Alt as my hotkey for, like, reducing the skill point count. And it works. It's fine. Heck, I got a GPD Win 2, a handheld gaming device. I'm probably going to try doing Let's Plays on that. Like, people don't need the best of the best junk just to play games. And it's stupid that people claim that you do, or claim that you're somehow a worse person. Not just player, but a worse person if you don't. It's elitism all the way down. Oh, speaking of elitism, Magic the Gathering has a hard set of elitism as well. And I actually left a popular Discord server because people were being elitist. One of the owners specifically was being elitist. Alright, I have a text.
I wonder who that's from.
Which part?
Your text.
Oh, it's from my mom.
Oh, okay.
About the parking thing that I've been mentioning about. It's like, what the question mark, question mark, question mark? Can you call and talk to somebody? And that's literally how she said it, because she uses the speech to text thing to make texts. So she had to say, what the question mark, question mark, question mark, space, space. It's all these little things about stuff that make you, I don't know, appreciate people. Like, right? Yeah. Okay. Got my pineapples, got that. I'm absolutely missing something fun.
My gaming rig, like my gaming PC isn't like the most up to date. I do want to upgrade it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially after that scare the other day.
There's a scare? What's up?
Yeah, where I was turning it on and it kept cycling on and off and on and off and on and off. Somehow I unplugged everything except the power cable, and that fixed it. Even after I plugged everything back in, but I was scared. I thought the motherboard was fried or something.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, people with the things. I have like Ryzen 5, which there's like Ryzen like 9 out now. I have like 2060, and there's like a 3090 out now. Like, I don't have the top. I had like top of the line from like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. But I can still play like every new game on maximum settings. Yeah. So why do I need a 3090?
None of my stuff is like top of the line, but like, you know the game Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, yep.
Yeah, you know how like it was like there was all that like controversy about like how it wouldn't even run on like PS4 and stuff.
Yeah, apparently it worked on even like average computers. It was just specifically consoles that had issues with for no reason.
Oh yeah, it works on my computer. It works on my computer just fine.
Oh gosh, I just realized I should have a derpy Let's Play where I try to play it on like the GPD. The handheld gaming console from like 8 years ago. See if that can run Cyberpunk. You can't play this on a PS4, but I can play it on a thing about the size of my phone. Heck, get some tech wired up, play Cyberpunk on the phone, see if that works.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing about like on my PC is like it doesn't have like the ray tracing, so I don't get like the ray tracing effects on Cyberpunk, but like other than that, it looks beautiful.
Fair, I did get ray tracing and I didn't even notice it. The one place where I would have noticed it is literally looking at a mirror, and the mirror doesn't work unless you activate it.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to just be able to like walk by the mirror and like pose in front of it and stuff. Mirror? Yeah, there's a mirror in your apartment. and it doesn't work unless you, like, go up and, like, click on it. It's like, that's kind of pointless, but okay. Gosh, I'm getting so many golden pumpkin seeds. Oh. Speaking of the golden pumpkin, is this what that kid in Charlie Brown is looking for? Because I think I got it.
I'll be right back.
Alright, you do it.
Yeah, I just gotta go to the bathroom.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'll go do stuff. Okay. And then we have... Boop, boop. Save again. And yes, for the record, Oh, right, I'm getting gifts because it's my birthday. It's like, why are you just giving me a silver? Heard it's your birthday. Complete the Charon's maze. Okay. Actually, the manifestation of a dream, specifically a dream being experienced by the large Charon's tree in the shape of a dungeon. There are even rumors that the Knights of Divine Dragons used to go there for training, which would be a perfect place for a courageous warrior like you. I wonder, try your luck. Oh, you're back.
I am back.
I already know the recipe. But here's a level lesson
How do
anyway.
you mean I was back?
Oh, I heard you.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, are you psychic?
I mean, I am, for the record. Like, don't let that mislead you. I am, in fact, psychic.
Cutie.
As my friend realized during our trip to Vegas a couple of years ago, when there were several moments when I pointed out a random thing that could happen, and then it happened.
Oh.
Like, for example, the ATM at the hotel wasn't working for me, so I asked her to withdraw $100 for me for the, spending cash at the event, and then I'd pay her back afterwards, because the ATM I was using was just taking money out and not giving it to me, so I called my bank to fix that up, but I still needed money. And so he walks over to the ATM, it's like, yeah, sure, $100, I'll get it. And then I was like, wait a second, what if the ATM just gives you $100 bill? And then she turns and looks at me and says, Claire, it's not going to just give me $100 bill. Like, this is an ATM at an event where people will be spending monies. It'd be loaded with, like, 20s. So she goes, does the withdrawal, and then she just walks over to me and just hands me a $100 bill.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I am psychic, but I can't manifest it perfectly, is the problem. But when it does manifest, people are always so impressed by it. Hey, look, wait a second, Arthur just gave me a ring. Should I read into this or anything? Amber has her glasses. I'd forgotten we had given. Oh, honey, that could be useful, maybe. What do you have? Oh no, we still have like 1,000 of all of these, except 4-leaf clovers. Actually, we could buy more green crystal and just get more heart drinks. On one hand, I kind of want to get green crystal and heart drinks. On the other hand, you know what? I'll buy some, so we can make use of the stuff that we already have in our storage. I'll buy 99. And see if we can make 50 heart drinks with this. So what's up? Do you have anything you want to talk about? Because I have a few things I'd like to potentially mention, if you don't.
I was gonna say, like, I hear you know Sarah.
Right. We've been chatting and whatnot, yes. In fact, she messaged me while recording and saying, "Oh, I just realized that like the two of us were recording, and she thinks it's cute that we are recording together."
Aw. You're
Yeah, that was my reaction too. I don't
both
know.
super adorable.
I don't know why this always wants to use the most expensive stuff first. I want to use the cheap stuff. I don't care
Yeah.
about fancy hot drinks.
Yeah, we've been talking too, and she was talking about possibly like a camping like thing, and she asked me when I told her that I'm talking to you right now, she was like maybe she could join us at the campfire and have a cuddle.
I mean, campfire is nice, but I'm that person that the smoke always blows into, so if we're sitting at a campfire together, you probably don't want to be sitting with me. I only have
Fair.
10, so I only need like 5 iron leaves. Uh,
She
so yeah.
told me I should ask.
I mean, hey, it's cute, and yeah, sure, if we all go camping together. I don't know why, but both of my parents are like really into camping, but they both seem to be into camping like the same way, which is weird, but I guess it makes sense considering the two of them did get married at like they were married at one point. But I've been like camping with both of
Oh
them
wow.
individually, and they do camp in like the same ways, more or less.
How do you mean like same way? I
Uh,
mean I know there's different kinds of camping, but
like they don't like just bring a tent and set it up like on the ground and stuff. They bring some sort of a trailer to sleep in. They get like chairs around a campfire, like casual sort of camping. And like, yeah, sure, the
okay.
exact kind of trailer will change because like my dad had a trailer for carrying stuff, and he had like installed pullouts like on the walls, so kind of thing that just like moves down attached with the chain. You know the kind of thing I'm talking about. So you just put your sleeping bag on that and sleep. So you'd like bring out the quads in there, and then like leave the quad sitting outside, and the people can like just sleep in that trailer, kind of a deal, instead of setting up a tent for people to sleep in, because he's already bringing the trailer to bring the quads. Whereas my mom and stepdad have an actual proper like trailer with like beds and stuff, and like cupboards and a fridge and all that stuff. But it's still the same thing where they like sit around the campfire with some friends. Maybe during the day they might like go fishing or go out, yeah, go out to a golf course and just play golf all day, then come back and have some drinks around the campfire. I do find it kind of awkward that all four of my parents drink on a somewhat regular basis, at least weekly, if not daily, and I don't drink. Uh, so I like drinking around, and for some reason it's just my biological parents who've tried to get me to drink. I don't know why, but it's always awkward. But anyway, yeah. So we were talking about relationships earlier. Do you want to hear the story, the twisted story of my ex-boyfriend?
Sure.
So yeah, people always ask me, it's like, wait, I thought you were a lesbian. How do you have an ex-boyfriend? Well, when I met him on the dating site, uh, when I first met his profile, he was a cisgendered girl. Like that's what it said on the profile, and I had messaged and asked, like, oh hey, do you think that you might be like trans? Do you think you might transition, or, like whatever? Because he was kind of boyish, even when presenting as a girl. And he's like, no, 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 definitely cisgendered woman, whatever. And then we got to talking and started like, it was like, over the internet, so dating, quote unquote, you know. And then eventually, about a month in, he's like, actually, I think I might actually be trans, considering how much that I had talked to him about what it was all like and like finally being free, blah, 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 all that stuff. And so then he's like, yeah, I think I might actually be trans. Can you help me? It's like, oh no, not help him. He begged me to stay with him because, you know, I'm lesbian and he's transitioning to being a guy. So he begged me to stay with him. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not a jerk. I'll stay. Whatever. Eventually, he breaks up with me for another girl he met online. And you'd think that could be the end of it. You would hope that could be the end of it. But no. A few months down the line, he messages me. I can't talk very well, which is weird because I have like 400 videos of me talking for hours, but anyway. So he messages me out of the blue, invites me to a group chat on Kick. You remember back in the day of Kick? Try to meet so that I can try to meet some girls, but the only other girl there was his girlfriend, so it's just him, a guy friend of his girlfriend, and me. He got upset at me that I was like, quote unquote, flirting with his girlfriend, which was, by the way, not the girl he had left me for. For the record, he had already moved on to someone else. And then...
Wow.
And then he leaves again, comes back a few months later, tries to set me up with the girl. It's uncomfortable for both of us. I can tell she's uncomfortable and I'm uncomfortable. Leaves again, and then eventually comes back and tries to like set me up with more people yet again. And it's like, eventually I just sit him down. I was like, dude, you can please just stop with this. I know we had a thing briefly and like whatever, and you feel like guilty maybe or whatever. This isn't helping. Like, if you're going to try to set me up with someone, could you maybe, I don't know, tell them about it ahead of time and not, like, chaperone us trying to talk to each other? Because all three of us were in the conversation together, chatting.
Wow, that's awkward.
Yes! So it took, I think it was roughly a year between when between when we had first met and, like, last talked. Like, it was a long time of weird things. Oh, hey, look, what do you think? Forte cooked us something.
Ooh.
Yeah, she cooked a disastrous dish. Oh, and nobody cares if you litter in this game. Oh, this is actually useful. I like how the different characters give you different stuff based on, like, what they do. Like, Forte is really bad at cooking, but she doesn't know she is, so she gives you, like, failed dishes. Like, Leon is, like, likes to fish and stuff, so he'll, like, give you fish meals and whatever. Ventuswell really loves pancakes, so she'll give you pancakes. But people of this game don't realize that they just gave you the thing. So they'll give you a gift and you can give it right back to them, and they'll pretend that they'll forget that they just gave that to you, which is really useful on like the Valentine's Day, because person will give you like a cookie because like, oh hey, happy Valentine's, here's a cookie, and then you just go, hey, happy Valentine's, here's a cookie, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, how thoughtful. So I find that hilarious. Way better than real people who, like, might remember that they gave you a specific gift, like, 3 years ago if you try to, like, feel like just don't have it anymore. Like, I don't know why, but people keep giving me, like, mugs and stuff, and, like, I use one mug. I have one specific mug because it's the right size, and I use that for my mug needs. Technically, I have one mug and a thermos that I use for hot drinks. A mug I use for, like, cereal and stuff. Thermos for hot drinks. I don't need more mugs. But then people give them to me, and I have to be like, oh, thanks, and I just kind of like stick it in my cupboard. But oh, well, if they happen to come over and they happen to like look in the cupboard or look for the mug, and see it's like, oh wait, it's not there, then they might start questioning things, blah blah blah, and then it's just a headache. It's like I thought it was supposed to be a gift. It's more of like the opposite. That's why it's always so hard for me to get gifts for people, because I don't know what person would actually appreciate.
I am
2468.
I am so bad at getting gifts for people or knowing what to get for them.
Yeah. So, I think it was my little brother's birthday, last year. Yeah, last year. He had saved up a lot of money. He had saved up money to get himself a computer because that's what he wanted, his own computer. I'd been talking about mine, and he's been wanting a computer for a while. And it's like, okay. And of course, the family's like, well, he might have enough for a computer. I want to make sure to get him a good one. I'm like, oh, hold on. I got this. So that was my gift for him for his birthday, to make sure that he would get a good computer, and to set it up as well. Our mom and myself set it up. Because that one's my actual, like, my only blood-related sibling, my half-brother. We share a mom. And yeah, so the two of us set up on the dining room table, and you want to guess what his first game was that my little brother played with his new computer?
What?
You want to take a wild guess? He played Pokemon.
What?
His first game was Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I think Pokemon Red. I don't know, Red or Blue. And then but the emulator, the ROM had like a yellow background. So it's like, oh, can I play a different Pokemon game that doesn't have this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's the Gen 2 game. So he started playing Pokemon Gold. Yeah, he got this fancy, and I have a picture of him playing Pokemon Gold on his brand new computer. And speaking of computers, my mom's computers are like years old, like 9 or 10 years, like old things, and they were Macs, so they weren't very good in the first place. So she actually flat out called me. I don't know if I told you about this because I was telling random people about it, but she flat out called me and was all like, hey, weren't you selling a computer? How much did you want for that? But did I tell you the story, or did I not tell you the story? Hello?
Huh?
Did
I
I already?
don't think you told me that story.
Okay, yeah. She wants the computer, so instead I just took Black Friday deals and I'm buying a whole computer, putting it together. It's a nice computer, but the case is massive. Should have just not bought. I don't know why, but I like computer cases. They're fancy. I should have just used my old case that I used to have for my computer. She would appreciate it even with all the Ruby stickers on all over it. She doesn't watch the show, but she knows that it's important to me, so she makes me like bags and stuff with Ruby on them. In fact, the purse that I have has a Ruby insignia on it, and of course the Ruby name on it. And it's like the best purse ever. Yeah, that's yeah, my mom makes stuff. She's been making masks to sell for the whole pandemic. I don't know if you heard,
awesome.
but there's a pandemic going on, and people are encouraged to wear masks, so she makes reusable masks and sells them.
Wait, there's a pandemic?
I mean, according to the alarm I got on my phone, yes. So yeah, she's been making masks and selling them. And I have this one friend. She's like 6'4", 6'5". She's a firefighter. But she doesn't have any like reusable masks. She just uses the one-use masks and tosses them because she gets them from work. So she doesn't really care. So like, no, I have my connections. I'm going to get you a mask. Like, pick like name an image or a design or whatever, and I'm sure we can get it done. She can't pick anything, so I'm gonna get one of those little masks that's like a little cat mouth with whiskers, and it's like, no, here, you can, here, happy winter holiday. Here's a mask that you can use, and I hope that, like, she very well could wear a mask like that to work. Oh yeah, she's all like, I give it to her. She's all concerned about like what people would think about her wearing it. It's like, oh, just tell people your girlfriend got it for you, and while they're so confused about you having a girlfriend, they'll forget all about the mask.
Yeah. Well,
Because that's how it works, right? You tell people that you have a girlfriend, and then everything else doesn't really matter because relationships are the only thing that have any value in this world.
well,
That's how it is, right? That's how people always act, at least.
yeah.
Do I have enough golden stuff? Can I stop making more juice? I should check. Eek. So, I'm not certain, but I think I might have done every request in the game. So that's one less thing to think about. Okay, yeah, I can totally make more gold juice, so. This has been going on for almost 3 hours, so hey, 3 whole episodes worth of stuff. Okay, see ya, Cinnamon.
Nice.
Yeah, which is nice because I've been a real funk about Rune Factory lately. Because it's, basically the same thing. Get up, get ingredients, make gold juice, occasionally make levelizers, eat the levelizers. There's a lot of, eating the levelizers takes time. Because while potions get consumed instantly, foods take a few seconds to get consumed. And that might not seem like much unless you are, in combat where a few seconds might mean you don't actually get to eat the food at all. But if you have to eat 1,000 levelizers, that takes a few days. A few solid days of eating. I forgot something. I don't know if you heard that little noise in the background. It was very quiet. You might not have. I barely heard it. You heard it? What was it?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I barely heard it, so it makes sense that you didn't. But what do you think? Look at my HP right now. Do you notice anything weird about it? Just take a look, see if you notice anything.
It's 0.
Yep, I forgot to eat the Formulade, so I just ran out of health.
Oh dear.
But I'm still in the menu. So I could try to make more gold juice, but no, you have 0 HP. You can't move. Which I don't know why, but that has heavy like Dark Chronicle vibes to it. It's like you can't move. And it's like, why would you think that you can still do stuff? You fainted.
Dark Chronicles.
Dark Cloud 2?
Dark Cloud 2! That's what I thought! I love that game! The first one I didn't like as much, but I really liked the second game.
Yeah, Dark Cloud, I mean, to be fair, Dark Cloud was awesome, and then Dark Cloud 2 came out, and it's like, oh, yeah, no, this is better.
Blows it away. It's, like, better than it in every way.
I think Dark Cloud has literally one thing that it's better at, and, like, but just, like, one thing, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, I would love to do a Let's Play of Dark Cloud 2, especially if I could find some way to get a multiplayer mod working on it, so have 2 people playing at the same time. Like, one player's Max, one player's Monica.
Would totally, like, do that. I love that game.
If you can find a multiplayer mod, we get that working, we could totally do it. Set up like Parsec or something so you can use a controller and we could just play together.
Ooh.
If you can get the... Yeah, if we could somehow figure out how to make it work, I would love to do that. That could be our thing. We could just play Dark Cloud 2 together.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm just so used to like mentioning Dark Cloud 2 to people, and they're like,
Oh,
nope, I've never heard of that in my life. And to finally hear someone who's actually excited about it fills me with determination.
that's wonderful. So, hopefully maybe there's a mod so like we can both be Monica. I mean, I played as both of them, but
As soon as I unlocked Monica, even in the very first time I played, I started playing as Monica and just only went back to playing as Max when the game forced me to. So Max was always like so underpowered. So
yeah.
I'd reach like a boss fight or something where I have to play as Max, and I'd have to like go back and like grind up his weapons because they'd be like level 2, like, chapter 2 weapons, and I'm on like chapter 4 or something. So I'd have to spend some time grind up his weapons and then finally go back. But speaking of Dark Cloud 2, I have tried a few times now to make a Dark Cloud 2 themed Dungeons and Dragons game. Not quite as hard as it would sound. And it's especially good if you have people who have never heard of Dark Cloud 2 before, so they don't know all of like the tricks and stuff. And then it's like, what? There's 2 moons? Yep, 2 moons. Don't pay it much mind. The game sure it doesn't either. Try to get people to play as Atlamelia because there's too many players and not enough rules. And it always feels weird because it feels like I have a self-insert in the game, which is kind of funny because there's a character named Claire in the game. That you can actually recruit and bring in your party in dungeons, which was also an awesome mechanic that really should be explored more in other dungeon crawler games.
For sure.
And then, of course, Claire's was like one of the worst things to bring in. It raises monster rage meters by 2. And like, that's it. I think she also sells like gift capsules, so that's useful, but she raises monster rage meters by 2, which is a mechanic of the game that I completely forget about unless I'm specifically looking up what the character who shares my name does as a recruitment. Like, hey, there's that like little girl character you can recruit, and like she makes sure all of the angel demon coins are always angel side up. Like, hey, that's nice. There is an infinite money exploit in the game as well, but it's not actually painful to use. Like we mentioned earlier, you get an infinite money exploit in a game. The game becomes unfun because you can buy everything, but all you can really buy everything of is, yeah, you can buy basic weapons and like diorama stuff. Like, if you want to get better weapons, you have to either get medals, you know the medal glitch? You have to either get medals, which you cannot buy, or you have to actually go in dungeons and level them up. Having infinite money, yeah, sure, you can go in dungeons more. But, like, oh well. So, it's such an awesome game that you can have infinite money and not be OP because of it. And that's saying something.
Aw.
Yeah, I maybe have spent a lot of hours playing that game. And I think it's...
Me too.
And despite all of that, I think it's still not even on the channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of the few games I've actually beaten, and the whole point of this channel is to replay games I hadn't beaten.
Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
also to play new games. But yeah. But hey, playing it in multiplayer, a whole new feeling. Also, playing it with save states is a whole new feeling. Because then you just don't die in dungeons. Which also feels really nice. You just, oh, save state.
Save states.
An absolute cheat, but oh so tempting.
Some games got save states like oh like they're like super built in, like in some like
And then there's Majora's Mask, which has the opposite.